We begin in Gaza, where hundreds of Palestinians were seen leaving the besieged Nasser Hospital in the southern city of Khan Younis. Israeli forces issued the evacuation order on Tuesday. It's believed up to 3,000 displaced people were in the medical complex when Israel began its siege 3 weeks ago. Hundreds of patients and staff remain inside. Israeli snipers have killed at least 3 people in the past 48 hours. Well, the World Health Organization has released this video from inside the hospital. It says it was filmed on Saturday. As you can see, it's full of patients. Our correspondents say around 300 patients were there when the siege began. Displaced Palestinians are sleeping on the floors and putting up tents in corridors. The WHO said it tried several times to get into the hospital or send in supplies, but was refused access.
We are scared that at any moment we might lose our lives, and we have no clue about our families. We are not able to communicate with them at all to make sure if they're doing okay. Each and every one of us is scared for their families, and the same goes for our families. They are scared to lose us.
Earlier, one of the doctors at Nasser Hospital recorded this message as evacuation orders from the Israeli army came in.
So what happened today is a completely trap. They send a hostage with cuffed hands to the hospital, asking him to tell us that we should evacuate. And when people started really evacuating, they opened fire and they shooted at the people and they killed the hostage also. That already sent by the IDF at the gate of the hospital. And now I'm completely trapped at this medical building, or which called Amasaf building. And this building, actually, it is away from the main gate of the hospital, about 50 meters only. So we are away from the tanks only 50 meters. And this is very dangerous.
Another Khan Younis hospital under Israeli siege is currently being shelled. Like Nasser, Al-Amal hospital has been under attack by Israeli forces for several weeks. The Palestinian Red Crescent Society has said there's shelling in the vicinity of the hospital. Al-Amal has around 100 patients and 80 medical staff inside right now. Let's go to Tariq Abu Azoum. He's live for us in Rafah city in southern Gaza. And Tariq, the reports talk about sniping going on at people trying to leave Nasser Hospital. What does this mean for the choices people have to make as they face evacuation orders?
Well, in fact, Sami, that sounds really critical there on the ground in Nasser Hospital. This place had been one of the main central areas that provides medical treatment for hundreds of thousands of people in Khan Younis city, and within the days of the war had turned to be a mass shelter for all evacuees. And right now it had been surrounded and by the Israeli military forces, who are completely imposing a clear military siege on that area, as the entire vicinity had been widely attacked and bombed by the Israeli artillery units and also fighter jets as a part of the battles going on there. But recently we have been seeing a clear surge of military operations by the Israeli snipers, shooting. Everyone is moving there on the ground. In the past day, as we've been hearing from medical sources on the ground, the Israeli forces had sent an abductee to inform people inside the medical facility to flee, and after sending that message they have shot this person and killed him. As we have been also hearing from eyewitnesses there that the Israeli forces had established different military checkpoints on the roads that leading to this medical facility as a part of their security control over the region, as they are investigating people as they are fleeing from that part without having any safe mechanisms in order to get safe to the next destination. And the situation there is absolutely critical, and day by day is getting much more complicated, especially that the medical facility has been running extremely low in terms of food, in terms of water and medical supplies, where people are still stuck there waiting for getting a safe corridor. But also the eyewitnesses have been saying that the entire area have witnessed a cliche damage of buildings and also in cemeteries that are at the backyard of the hospital.
And it's not just in Nasser. There's reports of shelling now going on around Al-Amal hospital. What kind of fate are people facing there?
Well, we all know that the Al-Amal Hospital has been under Israeli military siege for long weeks before starting the practical military siege of Nasser Hospital. Now we've been seeing that how the Israeli forces had targeted and stormed the Al-Amal Hospital before, as they have investigated some of its medical teams there amid ongoing military violations there on the ground. They have been forcing people, giving the military orders to flee from the city, from the medical complex there, as also they are telling them to take certain routes to get to Rafah district. Some of the people, as they are fleeing, they have been arrested by the Israeli military for investigation and then later being released. But in the past a few hours exactly, the Israeli military forces had targeted different areas on the hospital itself, causing a clear material damage for different departments, where the fate of the people inside along with medical teams is still unknown right now, because the situation is very complex and people there cannot leave the gates of the hospital because of the severe injuries that they are suffering from. Until now, the Palestinian Red Crescent Society are calling the Israeli military to afford them protection and to allow them for getting a safe corridor out of the hospital.
All right, thanks so much, Tariq Abu Azzoum there.